Hey everyone, and welcome to the Warm Keyboard channel. It's 2026 and I want to try something new this year, so that's why I've decided to put this video together on New Year's Day. As you can see, I'm playing some Skyrim here, an old classic, or well, to me it seems like a relatively new game actually, in some respects. Like, the first Elder Scrolls game I got into was Morrowind, and I sunk so many hours into that game. Like, I'd get up early in the morning before school just to be able to play a few more hours, and I was never very good at it. I never really understood what I was doing. But then Oblivion was announced, and I followed the development of that like daily almost. Like, this was before there was any YouTube or influencers or people like Let's Play channels, that sort of thing. It was just forums and news articles, and I was so hyped for that game, and it was a good game, but I didn't really play it anywhere near as much as Morrowind. And then, from my perspective, Skyrim just dropped out of nowhere. Like, I don't really remember seeing much hype about it, at least at the time. I remember seeing that one trailer and not really thinking that much of it, and then it dropped, and it blew my mind originally. Like, this was a new era in gaming, really. And of course I got it as pretty soon after it came out. Like, I bought a new Xbox in order to play it, like my previous one. So when I got the first Xbox 360 on the day of release, it had finally died by 2011. And yeah, I really enjoyed the game, but I only really played through it once, and I played it a bit a second time just before going to university in 2012, but since then I've actually not played the game at all. So from my perspective, it's as if not much has happened in the last like almost 15 years, and I can't really remember much from the game apart from like perhaps the start and the very end. So for me, this is almost like a new game now. But this isn't going to be a Let's Play channel or a channel focused on like gameplay or such. It's more going to be a channel focused on, well, what's happened in those last 15 years, at least from my perspective, and what's going to happen next now. Like, those 15 years have gone really quickly for me, and I don't really feel like I've gotten a lot done. Like, as I sit here just alone in my house, I live by myself, so it's just me talking to my computer, playing some Skyrim. Like, I feel as though I really need to start doing some more with just life in general. So a bit about myself quickly, at least my current situation. So I've got a job, a standard 9 to 5 job. It pays okay, enough for me to survive, pay my bills, and have some money left over for savings or for any emergency purchases like house repairs or like medical bills or such. I live completely alone, and one thing I have in huge abundance is just so much time, so much spare time, and in some way I almost feel guilty for having so much time. Like, you see people who are working like crazy just to keep afloat, but for me, I've done everything I was supposed to. I went to university, I've got an okay job, there's not really much progression, but it keeps me going, and I have all this time in the evening and after work, weekends, because it's only a weekday job. And what do I do with all this time? Well, nothing much really. I just procrastinate, waste my time on the internet, watch YouTube videos, and that's it really. And I feel pretty guilty in some respects, like I should be doing something. I've spent so much time optimizing my life really, so that comes to cooking and everything. I made sure I bought a house within a 5-minute walk of work. Like, I have no huge time sinks in my life outside of just going to work really. And that's one of the reasons I'm starting this YouTube channel, to talk about a lot of this. So this is just a quick introductory video really of me trying to learn the process to like get my workflow under control, see what I can do with the equipment I have, which is just an old gaming laptop and a microphone at the moment, and try and get a hang of the editing software and such. But most importantly, just trying to get good at speaking, really. Like, I'm not sure how to explain this yet, at least. I've spent so much time on the internet that I'm sure my brain is just rotted away, and it got to the point recently where I'm not sure if I'm actually having original thoughts anymore, especially with AI all over the place at the moment. So, if anything, if I'm able to maintain some sort of coherent talking for a prolonged period of time, then that's all I need from this. I'm not hoping for some massive following or anything, just some way of documenting my progress. Now, in some ways, I have always wanted to do some online content creation. I was thinking earlier today when I first wanted to get into this, and the earliest memory I have really of it is perhaps in around 2007, 2008. I can't remember the exact date, but I was playing World of Warcraft, the game which perhaps in some way ruined my life, but also in some ways it taught me a lot of things, basically. But it was during the original Burning Crusade expansion, and a lot of videos for World of Warcraft, they used to be uploaded to Warcraft movies. But YouTube came around and people started uploading videos there. And there was this one channel called Stego, I believe. I can't find him anymore, but he made instructional videos which I thought were really good. And I thought, someday I'd love to do something like that. And that's coming up on like 20 years ago. 20 years now. So I've literally been procrastinating this away for like 2 decades. Which is kind of ridiculous when you think about it. If I had just started then I would have learned a lot of, I'd have made a lot of mistakes, but I would have learned how to put together some sort of interesting videos, I suppose. Like, there is that saying, something, planting a tree 20 years ago is the best time, but the second best time is now. So here I am trying to plant my own little tree, and we'll see where this goes, really. So what am I going to talk about though on this channel? A lot of it will just be me expressing my thoughts on, various things in life. While I have had a fairly boring life, and my life is really boring in general, I would say, I have got some stories to tell, and I'd like to share them on here for anyone who might be in similar situations, or they might find them entertaining, and even for myself, as a sort of set of online memoirs. And the main theme is going to be, all these topics from the perspective of someone who just lives like a hermit-style loner life, like who is a loner, who's introverted, and we'll see what I can learn from this. I also think all the skills that you get from like running a channel would be very useful in life in general. So one, of course, the communication, the talking, the video editing skills, planning, and having it as like a hobby, really. So giving yourself some purpose with it. And I hope to record ideally a couple of videos a week, really. Like, initially it is going to be all over gameplay, like old video games. Well, for me, like I said, these are quite new video games. I think the most recent video game that I played, the newest game, probably was GTA 5, and GTA 6 may or may not be coming out next year, but we'll see about that. Also, I'd like to try and be as unscripted as possible with these videos. Like, I do find when I'm reading off a script, I'm very, very robotic, so I probably sound quite robotic right now, so it's even worse than this. But I suppose it's something that I'll have to get the hang of and grow. But that's probably it from me at the moment. Thanks for listening to this if you're out there. And we'll see where this goes. At least I'll have something interesting to do in 2026.